Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. You guys seen the title, clicked on the video, make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, Mayweather McGregor, will it happen? I don't know. I think a lot of it is contingent on the UFC because Conor McGregor, you'll do fucking none, is the biggest star in the UFC, and most people feel like he would be a sacrificial lamb if he were to fight Floyd Mayweather, arguably the greatest boxer of all time, definitely this generation's best boxer, and aside from making a lot of money in a once and done type of fight, it doesn't really benefit the UFC unless Conor McGregor can pull a miraculous upset and unseat Floyd Mayweather and stop him or beat him. Then it would be epic for Conor McGregor's career. Now, shout out to MMAfighting.com. Ariel Helwani, he spoke with Antonio Tarver, boxer, actor, commentator. He was in the Rocky movie, Mason Dixon, if you will. And Tarver was a guest on the show, the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Now, the Magic Man, Antonio Tarver, is actually from Florida, and he was brought in as a striking coach for the Black Zillions. So he's going to be work with them, helping the MMA fighters, that squad, work on their boxing technique and whatnot. And since they had him on the MMA Hour, obviously the biggest kind of hybrid type of fight is Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. So they asked Tarver his opinion, and Tarver says, as far as Conor McGregor beating Floyd, not a chance in hell, because Conor McGregor can't beat the top 20 in the division. How the fuck is he gonna beat Floyd Mayweather? Not a fucking chance in hell, or even a puncher's chance, because he's not punching with those 4-ounce gloves on. He's punching with 10-ounce gloves. Big difference. It's a money fight. I don't know if it's a mockery, but it's a money fight. That's what it's all about. Conor McGregor can't beat Nate Diaz in a boxing match. In a boxing match, Diaz will beat his ass, and there's a whole lot of other fighters out there who will beat his ass in a boxing match. He goes on to say, I think Floyd can knock him out because Floyd is a boxer. McGregor is not gonna know what to do. He hasn't had the repetitions, he hasn't had the experiences, he don't know what is going to take. Shit, he gets tired in a 5-round fight, even though they're going 5 rounds and they're wrestling. What the hell you think is gonna happen in round 6, 7 if he gets that far, when he's mentally fatigued and tired? Because I've seen him in the octagon getting mentally fatigued and tired, so he just needs to be taught. And he started going in on the differences. He also said boxing, those 3-minute rounds are totally different than anything else in the world that you would experience. So Conor McGregor, when he ain't in those 4-ounce gloves on, when he doesn't have them on, what's going to happen round 7 when those 10-ounce gloves start feeling like a pound on each hand? He's not used to that. He's not accustomed to that. He's going to have someone in there who knows boxing inside out, teach him the intricate parts or what to expect from Floyd Mayweather. Someone that knows Floyd Mayweather inside and out, that knows the boxing game inside and out, that can equip him with the things that he needs to know to have a chance to shock the world. It's going to take somebody special. It ain't going to just take nobody just catching fucking mitts, looking beautiful on the mitts, because that ain't what it's about. So that's just an excerpt. For the full interview, you can watch the video, you can read the write-up, the article, link in the description. I really want to give my thoughts on it, and most people believe Tarver would be correct. Obviously, we don't know. It's a fight. We have to see the fight, but obviously Floyd Mayweather in boxing would have a massive advantage because there's people who have trained their whole life in boxing only. No ground game, no jiu-jitsu, no karate, no capoeira, right? And they've boxed their whole life and come up short. So how is a guy who's been trying to get versed in everything, was a solid MMA stand-up game? And that's a big difference, because MMA striking and the stand-up game in MMA is completely different. Like, there's some guys, like, in my opinion, I think Cody Garbrandt he's a good striker and he's good with his stand-up, good with boxing. There's a couple other guys, like I know that Frank Mir, he was with boxing, he was training with Bermain Stavern and stuff like that. So there's some people who their stand-up might be better than others, but it's different. And Antonio Tarver knows all too well the boxing game. He upset my favorite fighter, Roy Jones Jr. That was heartbreaking when I seen that. Roy is my dude, but he said, "Are there going to be any excuses tonight?" And yeah, that crushed me. But he knows boxing. I actually had the clip you seen at the beginning. I shot that in LA, and I had this whole interview with him. This was in 2015. See, I've been doing this, y'all don't remember. This was like January 2015. I had this whole interview, and Tarver was giving some good stuff. But this was when I first started taking the show on the road, and I caught up with him at the Manny Pacquiao the movie premiere, and he was saying some real good stuff. He was talking about he gave Floyd Mayweather his nickname, Pretty Boy Floyd, in the Olympics, but I cannot find it on my computer. I don't know if I accidentally deleted it or whatnot. I don't know what happened, but Tarver, I did speak with him, and it was years ago, but he knows Mayweather, right? He knows him well, because he told me in that interview that he gave Mayweather his nickname, which is a ego factoid that some of you guys may not know. But I mean, I can't say I disagree with Antonio Tarver. Again, he's a boxer. He's working with an MMA squad, trying to help them. He's a commentator too, so he seems pretty level-headed. I don't think he's saying this out of spite, like he hates Conor McGregor, but he knows Floyd, and he studies the game of boxing, particularly the sweet science. So it is going to be an uphill battle for Conor McGregor. The good thing Conor McGregor has on his edge or on his side would be his youth, his confidence. He's definitely confident, and his size. He's fought as high as 170, and he looks pretty massive. But other than that, it's boxing is boxing, and UFC is UFC, which is why a lot of people don't transition well. You know what I mean? James Toney, great boxer, but didn't really do good when he went to MMA. Ricardo Mayorga, you know what I mean? They're two different sports, and it's just like an NFLer, somebody from the US playing NFL football. You could be great, you could be a great running back, but if you play rugby, go to the UK and start playing rugby, it's a different ball game. So it doesn't automatically transition, even though it's slightly similar or kind of similar. It might look the same, it doesn't mean the same. It's just like a alligator and a crocodile. There are distinct differences. Some people are like, oh, it's a crocodile, but it's really an alligator. But there are differences between the two. That's why they don't have the same name. That's why one's called an alligator and one is called a crocodile. One's bigger, one typically get longer, have sharper teeth, longer teeth. You know what I mean? There's differences, and it's easy for someone to confuse it and like, oh, that's a crocodile. Like, no, that's an alligator. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how it is with MMA and boxing. Although they're both fighting, they're two different disciplines. So I like the detail that Tarver put into this interview, and he's talking about the intricate parts. Like he's saying how I understand the longer rounds in MMA, but there's also just differences like adrenaline. Your adrenaline will probably be pumping more because you're a little bit out of your comfort zone. So you don't want to waste unnecessary energy. Even though the rounds are shorter, you have more rounds than a championship UFC fight. So, and you're wearing bigger gloves, and you're in there with a guy who can fight, and you can't touch him when he's in front of you, especially if he puts the wheels on and he starts giving you some different looks and lateral movement. How are you going to feel? You might be exasperated by round 9, by the championship rounds. And when you're fatigued, that's when people make the most mistakes, because you're tired, your guard is not as high, you know what I mean? You're putting that right hand down just subtly. That's when you start making the most mistakes. And Floyd Mayweather, to me, in my opinion, is one of the only fighters that I could think of for a fact that in this era of modern boxing, if we were still doing the 15 rounders, I really feel like Floyd Mayweather he'd probably get more stoppages, because that's when the guys beyond the 12th, you know what I mean, if it was like 13, 14 rounds, Floyd's still sharp. And you see Floyd, once he's figured you out, it's kind of, he gets ruthless, you know what I mean? It's not much you can do. It's just like you start getting picked off and frustrated. So I think Floyd would actually be one of the fighters that I could think of who's not ballooning up in his weight, who wouldn't do bad if they have 15 rounders. You know what I mean? So it's a different ball game, because Floyd usually gets better as the fight wears on, and a guy like Conor McGregor, again, it's going to be an uphill battle. So let me know what you guys think of Tarver's comments. I agree with him. I don't think it's a mockery. Some people are saying a mockery, but like point blank period, I'm gonna just say it straight out. Some people don't want to see Floyd win anyway. Any news about Floyd that's remotely quote unquote bad or something, like Floyd's fighting Berto after beating Pacquiao, then they go out of their way to bash him, say his legacy is done. Like, how is his legacy over for fighting Berto? And then meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao is fighting someone less than Berto, less accomplished than Berto, less known than Berto, and Jeff Horn. And those same media writers, those same channels are nowhere to be found. And they're okay with Pacquiao fighting a Jeff Horn. And they actually make excuses like, oh, it makes business sense to do it in Australia. But Floyd fighting Andre Berto, a two-time champion, in Las Vegas, where he currently resides and has been, that don't make no sense to you after fighting Pacquiao and schooling him. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people who keep saying this is a mockery and, oh, this shouldn't count, they're the same ones, a lot of them, who never wanted to see Floyd succeed, and they are always pointing out the bad, if you will, domestic violence and IV. They're quick to do a story about IV and stuff. They don't even have to know the details. They're just quick to get on here. But like I said, 2017 is not going to be a forgiving year for a lot of y'all. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And you see it. You'll see people's views and channels dwindling down to nothingness. Their activity rates, the writers are getting ghost. People are bashing them in the comment section, saying this writer don't know what the hell he's talking about. 2017 has been a phenomenal year. You know what I mean? You saw, like, it's like sink or swim, survival of the fittest, and we're starting to see that. The people who are just talking BS and writing crazy BS articles, that stuff is done. New media. I mean, you could keep doing it, but we'll see how far you get doing that. You know what I mean? I'm very in tune with my YouTube analytics, and I'm not even trying to gloat, but the channel is growing, and it's growing at a rapid rate. And it's just from being honest, being respectful, giving people a fair shake, and that's what a lot of people fail to do, and that's where they're going to suffer. You'll see people condemning their articles or not really going to their channel. They're not really getting any views, things like that, because you got to tell the truth. So let me know what you guys think of Antonio Tarver. Like I said, the Floyd Mayweather fight, Conor McGregor, we know what it is. It sounds like Tarver knows what it is. It makes business sense. That's too much money to pass up. Conor McGregor is a salesman. That's what Floyd's looking for. He's looking for someone that's going to help generate big box office success. And truth be told, I don't blame Floyd one bit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because for 19 years, he's given his all. He's maintained an undefeated record. People could bring up, oh, Castillo. Castillo had his opportunity to set the record straight. The same year, they had the close fight with Floyd, and he came up short. So I don't want to hear that. Same thing with Maidana. He had the opportunity, came up short drastically in the second fight, and ended up retiring. So you had your second chance to let lightning strike, and you came up short. But a lot of people don't give Floyd no type of credit anyway for the last 19 years. So why would you do anything that doesn't benefit? You know what I'm saying? Why are you going to like, oh, I'm going to fight? They're not giving you credit anyway. You beat Pacquiao, they say, oh, it was too late, and the old Pacquiao would have beat you up, and we give you no credit. Pacquiao lost because of his shoulder. I would fight Conor McGregor too, because Conor McGregor makes the most financial gain, and you're not getting credit. So you don't get credit for beating everybody Floyd's beat for the most part. That people have some kind of excuse. Arturo Gatti, oh, but De La Hoya had already stopped him. You say Shane Mosley, people say he was past it, even though he was coming off of knocking out a granite chin Antonio Margarito. Ricky Hatton, you say, oh, it's because the referee didn't let Ricky Hatton do whatever he wanted. Pacquiao, oh, it's because his shoulder, it's because of Kenny Bayless. So, you know what? I would have my middle finger to the ceiling too, like Floyd Mayweather. I would fight whoever has the best payout. You're not going to get credit either way. You already have a great legacy and a great resume. I would fight Conor McGregor too, and that's straight up. And the other thing is, I'm just going to be real. This is no shade. I really like Keith Thurman, but he, in the minds of a lot of people, he didn't really impress in that second half of the Danny Garcia fight. So that was your big opportunity, audition. I thought that the winner of Danny Garcia, Thurman, stood a chance to lure Floyd out of retirement, because you got to make some noise. That's how you, to fight Floyd, it's evident you have to bring something to the table in this later stage. He's already accomplished. He's already wealthy. So he's looking for those people that could really enhance his profile and also makes a lot of business sense. Marcos Maidana just thrashed Broner. Everybody was talking about it, making memes. So he had the streets buzzing. Then he did that little poll with him and Maidana, gave a little bit more exposure to Maidana and Khan, and then he picked Maidana, who had come off the better win against Adrian Broner with the threatening punch, and then the rest is history. You know what I mean? So I think Keith Thurman had a great opportunity. 4 to 6 million people watch his fight with Danny Garcia and expected a fight like Thurman Porter, and he kind of let off the gas and kind of coasted his way to a victory, and I'm not gonna say did the bare minimum, but he stayed safe. We all know that he stayed safe, and it didn't really radically raise his profile. What I mean by that is, you look at Anthony Joshua got knocked down, but he still came back. He knocked Klitschko down, and he came back to stop Klitschko in a dramatic fashion. So to me, a fight like that and a performance like that, gutsy, dig down deep, and semi-retiring a legend. I don't know if Klitschko will retire. That got the world paying attention to Joshua. He already looks the part, well-spoken. He's in shape and buff and diesel. So I really feel like Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman, had they had a performance like that, maybe that would be a boxer in boxing that could lure him out. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, there's not too many people. So if you're not going to get credit anyway, Conor McGregor's trash talking, you know it's going to be easy work. Why not get them triple digits, 100 million guaranteed to wax him? You know he's going to come in confident, and you know what I mean, you might even be able to get a knockout out of this. I interviewed Errol Spence Jr. last year. He's saying what Tarver said. And it's funny to me that the stuff I say in videos, not everything, but a lot of it is consistent with actual pro fighters, what they're saying and what trainers are saying. And you read the comment section on those same videos, and people are like, oh, Ego, you don't know shit about boxing, you don't know what you're talking about. But the actual fighters are saying the same thing and basically corroborating, after I've already stated it a lot of times, what I've already said. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Tarver? Can Floyd knock out Conor McGregor? Conor McGregor's kind of big, but I mean, when fatigue and all that sets in, I definitely see that being a possibility. So I agree with Tarver and Errol Spence Jr., who both said that Conor McGregor stands a chance to get knocked out by Floyd. Errol Spence told me directly when I was interviewing him, a lot of people sleep on Floyd, but he's a lot stronger than you think, and he sparred him. So you guys keep leaving crazy comments, radical comments, that's fine. We'll see whose channel grows, and we'll see whose theories come out to be truthful and right more often than not. Let me know what you guys think of Tarver's comments. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
How about this? You sparred Mayweather. What was that like?
He's just smart. Got cat-like reflexes, smart, and he's stronger than what everybody think he is. A lot of people think he's not strong, but when you get in there, it's hard to push him around.
You might fight McGregor. Break it down.
Nothing to break down. McGregor's an MMA fighter. He's not no boxer. Floyd didn't beat up on pure boxing. McGregor's not a boxer. He'll knock McGregor out. I'll stop McGregor.
What round?
And sparring.
What round?
Yeah, if Floyd want to knock him out, he can knock McGregor out in 2 rounds. He would fight with his chin in there, man. He's not no boxer.
How about you and Pacquiao? You fight? You and Manny Pacquiao?
Well, he retired, but that'd be a great fight. Manny Pacquiao, he's a great champion. He's a Hall of Famer, definitely.
What about the criticism you got for saying Pacquiao lacks fundamentals? You still stand by that?
Nah, I said my fundamentals are better than Pacquiao.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got better fundamentals than him. That don't say Manny Pacquiao's not a great fighter. He's a Hall of Famer. But I think I have better fundamentals.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Like, what do you do different, I guess?
Like, just stepping over, just basic fundamentals, like using a jab. Like Manny Pacquiao, you know, his greatness, you know, he was kind of a, you know, like a loose cannon, like he come forward and all hard.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego. the future of boxing.